Good morning, students. Welcome to day 18 of learning R. So we will continue to delve into the world of tidyverse in today's lecture also. In tidyverse, the last lecture we have covered your tibble, which comes under the tidyverse. For that we have installed the package tidyverse, and then we have did some library calling for tidyverse and tibble, and we call this dataset iris as tibble. Okay, so in today's lecture we will be further delving into the world of your tidyverse and see what else can we do in the tidyverse universe. All right, so first of all install this package again, otherwise whatever we do will be not the R package will not recognize that, and then we will call the library tidyverse. Okay, now we can start. So today we will be learning how to make data more clean. So how do we make a tidy data set? So there are basically 3 rules for that, and number 1 of which is each variable must have its own column. Number 2 is each observation has its own cell, and then number 3 is each value has its own cell. Okay, so यहाँ पे थोड़ा गलत हो गया, it should be own row. So each variable must have its own column. So हर वेरिएबल के पास अपना एक कॉलम होना चाहिए, हर ऑब्जर्वेशन के पास अपनी एक रो होनी चाहिए, और हर वैल्यू के पास अपना एक सेल होना चाहिए. So these are basically 3 ground rules for making a data set more tidy or more clean. So and generally what happens is it is impossible. Let's create this hashtag also. It is impossible to satisfy 2 of 3 rules. Then what happens? Then this leads to the following instruction for creating tidy data set for cleaning data. Let's hashtag this also. Okay, so number 1 is again put each data set into a table. Then number 2 is put each variable into a column, and then number 3 is profit. Okay, so let's create some data set. I'm creating a variable BMI and putting in this a data set or a table, and the name of the data set is woman. Okay, so let's see if it runs fine. Yes, it is running fine. And now so vi BMI, and then symbol, and then we want to do some mutation in this data set. So mutate, and after mutate you can see whatever you have to give your data, or BMI is equal to this is the name of the column in which you want to do some changes. So you want to do some changes in mutate. Okay, so first of all let's see what is there in this woman data set. Alright, so BMI is here. So we have in this woman data set height and weight of 15 women. Okay, so when we are mutating in it, so we are trying to add a new column. in this. So there is no column as BMI. In this you only have height and weight. So we want to add a new column BMI, which we calculate by the formula 703 into weight, and then bracket close, then we will divide this by height to the power 2. Let's cross check the spelling of weight first. Okay, WEIGST, and height is also same, so this should run fine. So here you can see we have added a separate column based on this formula 703 into weight. So whatever this value is 24, it would have come from multiplying the column weight 115 into 703 and divided by 58 square. Okay, so this value is obviously not saved, so we can save this into BMI2 or BMI_2, and then we can put this value BMI and this. Okay, now there is a BMI2. Yes, okay, no, there is no BMI2. So okay, so the value is still not saved. It's just for temporary you have added this. So for that we need to create a separate variable BMI underscore modified, and then we will putting in this same thing, this complete thing. If you put in under this, then this value will be put in BMI modified. Now let's run this. So okay, you have a BMI modified. So as you can see here, you have a separate column added as BMI, and now the dataset is also saved with the additional column as BMI. Alright, so now what else we have? We have two functions in R, like spreading and gathering. Okay, so in this example we will try to study how this gathering function work. So we have for working gathering function we have to call the library tidyr, and so let's suppose we have a data set, the name is data frame or white underscore data, and then in that we are creating a data frame having different IDs. For January we have different values, for February we have different values, and for March we have different 3 values, and we are using the collection because it is a collection of numbers. Otherwise it would have and we are not using any inverted commas because these are all numbers. Otherwise अगर ये लोग यहाँ पे हम लोग characters use कर रहे होते then we would have to use the inverted commas. So this is your data set. Now let's see if it is running. Yeah, it is working fine. Now we have to see whether what the gather function do. So gather function will arrange this data in a more readable format. Here it is also readable, but it is not that much readable. After you will see what the gather function do. It will define key values for each variable, so it is more readable and it is more understandable format of a data. So let's create this gather function. So we will do long data, and then we will put in this as, first of all let's see how it is seen to be printed. So let's print wide underscore data, and let's see how it looks like. So it looks like this. You have a separate column for ID, you have separate column for January, February, March, and you have separate values. Now we will do the gather function on this. We will use gather function on this, and then gather we will using it on wide underscore data, and then we are defining a key element here. So key is your, either you can use inverted commas, whatever value are you putting it, or your single inverted commas are also fine. So we are using month here as key, so it will be arranged on the basis of month, and then we are using value is equal to, again you can use the double inverted commas or single inverted comma, temperature, okay, and then we are using ID. Okay, so we have added or you can say on the basis of month and temperature we are gathering this data in a more readable format. So let's see if it is okay to run this. Yes, it is okay. And then let's see, print long underscore data. Now let's see how it looks. So see, whatever we have, what we have done is here is we have created temperature column for 1 to 3. Let's see, there is some other thing we can do here. We should print it. Yeah. So we have, what we have done is we have created a separate column for ID and for month and for temperatures. Temperature which was not a separate thing is given in the earlier data. So these are all temperature values which was not indicated in the previous data. So here as you can see here, इस वाले में कहीं भी आपको टेम्परेचर की वैल्यू पता नहीं चल रही थी कि ये वैल्यू है क्या, 25, 30, 26 जो भी वैल्यूज हैं ये आपको पता नहीं था क्या है. बट इन दिस गैदरिंग, आफ्टर यूजिंग द गैदर फंक्शन, वी हैव क्रिएटेड अ न्यू कॉलम नेम्ड एज टेम्परेचर, और उसमें हमने जनवरी की जो वैल्यूज़ थी सारी हमने डाल दी, 25, 30, 22. फरवरी की वैल्यूज कॉरस्पॉन्डिंग हमने सारी वैल्यूज़ डाल दी, और उसी हिसाब से हमने इसमें मंथ में, और आईडी कॉलम एक आता 1 to 3, तो उसके अगेंस्ट अगेन 1 to 3 हमारा आ गया. ठीक है. So this is what your gather function do. Let's see what your spreading function does. So now we will learn to use spread function. Okay, so what it does, spread is used to transform the long form of data to wide form or format by spreading key values, pairs into its separate columns. Okay, now let's see the example. Wide underscore data, we are using the same thing, wide underscore data, and then what we are putting in it, underscore, we are using function spread, and then we are putting long underscore data, then key. Okay, and we are using it as month, then again comma, and then value, and then temperature. Okay, now let's see what it does. So okay, it is saying can't extract column, that does not exist. Okay, is there a difference? Yes. Okay, so it is working fine, and then print wide underscore data. Now let's see how it is looking. So it is by default, it has converted into its original format, whatever we have given in this print wide data, or we can create here is separate column, because otherwise there is a confusion. Underscore modified, and then here we can use modified one so that it is clearly visible. In print window data object were not found. Okay, so here we have just modified the name to _1, and thus we are printing this again. So what it does is it just converted the whatever you have printed here wide data, it is the same as your wide underscore data score underscore 1. So gather, it has converted the long form of data into a short form, and then spread converted your long form of data into your long data, sorry, I'm confusing. So the gather will consume your wide data into long form, and then spread will convert your long data into a wide form. Okay, so here I have created a certain points to be remembered for gather and spread function. So for gather function, you have to remember the difference between key and value, the things that we are using in this formula as key and value. So key is the name of the new column that will contain the variable name. So it is the name of the new column which you want to create. Okay, and then value is the name of the new column that will contain the values. So इसमें वो values होंगी, variable से associated जो उसकी value होगी वो इसमें वो आएगी, यानी कि आपने एक कॉलम बनाया मंथ और उसकी जो corresponding value होगी वो उसमें आएगी, उसकी value आएगी आपके नेक्स्ट सेपरेट कॉलम में. ठीक है. So the new key is the name of the new column that will contain the variable name, and value is the new column, name of the new column that will contain the value. सेम वाइज स्प्रेड फंक्शन में क्या होगा, की क्या है आपका, यहाँ पे भी हमने की और वैल्यू यूज़ किया है. तो की इज़ द नेम ऑफ द कॉलम कंटेनिंग द वेरिएबल नेम्स एंड वैल्यू इज़ द नेम ऑफ द कॉलम कंटेनिंग वैल्यूज़. तो सेम वाइज इसमें भी की और वैल्यू दो की पैरामीटर्स हैं. ठीक है. ओके, सो दैट्स इट फॉर टुडेज वीडियो. आई होप टू सी यू टुमारो एंड हैप्पी लर्निंग. थैंक यू.